Hello guys, it's Lupino9, aka the Literary Wolf at Tumblr.com. I just got off of the end of my first week at my new job, which even though the end of my first week was supposed to be Friday, but they decided to saddle me with overtime on my first week while I'm technically still in training, which is also the reason why the month of Vocaloid video wasn't put up today, and I apologize for that. You guys will end up getting 2 videos tomorrow. Between this new job and YouTube acting up on time, it's really getting hard to put up these videos, and I'm sorry about the phone ringing. Hold on. However, tonight something happened that, even though YouTubers, I guess, aren't supposed to give their views on social or legal issues, I guess we're not supposed to give our views on that, I cannot keep silent on. Tonight was the jury for the Trayvon Martin case deliberated and gave their ruling and stated that George Zimmerman is not guilty by means of self-defense. Since at my job they only play CNN on the TVs, obviously I had been hearing about this case a lot, but even before I started working, I followed the hell out of this case, because as an African American myself, and as someone who was born in the state of Florida, this was actually close to me. Yes, I wasn't related to the family of the deceased, but this was actually a very close issue to me. However, as soon as my shift ended and I walked into the main break room, all I was introduced to was CNN blaring that George Zimmerman found not guilty. And can I just say that I have never been more disgusted with this country in my life. You can even say that, oh, you're just being overdramatic because you have clinical misanthropy. No! I would still be pissed off even if I didn't have that disorder. However, I'm even more pissed off because of it, because, like I said, as an African American, this just puts out the inconvenient truths that I had already been growing up with, but you try so hard to say, okay, well, America's trying to be progressive, America's trying to be equal, America's trying to be the quote-unquote beam of light for the world, and yet it doesn't want to be. You can argue that, oh, America is progressive, oh, America is equal, racism doesn't exist anymore, bigotry doesn't exist anymore, and you are living in a fucking fairy tale. Okay? You're living a lie. You just don't want to acknowledge the fact that there's still racism and inequality in the world, and people can still act out on these bigotries and inequalities, and they can still get away with it, as we saw with this case tonight. When my mother picked me up from work, because I had to be picked up tonight, since I obviously wouldn't have my car, because my mom needed to run errands, I was holding back tears. I was crying. Even when I walked into the car, I told my mother, in my normal satirical wit, I said, better get me off the streets before someone sees a black person in dark clothes and decides that they need to defend their community. I'm holding back the urge to vomit right now. I really am. The time of tears has gone, but I'm holding back the urge to vomit. And my mother said something that, even though she said it emotionally, I agree wholeheartedly, and I actually want this to happen. Because even though George Zimmerman is an evil bastard who should not have any mercy, if and when something happens to him, like someone taking the law into their own hands, because apparently people of color in this country can't depend on the law, we have to take the law into our own hands, If and when something happens to him, his blood will be on the judge and jury's hands, because they could have saved him by doing the right thing and putting him in jail. But they didn't. They chose to be racist and they chose to be ignorant and let him go. And those jurors, the mothers on that jury, have no hearts. Another thing that my mother said, that even though it sounds cruel and a person of religion shouldn't wish this on anyone, I agree with it too. She was saying that she hopes that God lets something happen to the children of those mothers so they can feel the heartbreak that Trayvon Martin's mother is feeling right now. And really, I agree with that. Okay, you can argue that the prosecutor didn't do his job, but the evidence was right there. How can you ignore that? The evidence was right there. All in all, I don't even know why. Yeah. I can technically be proud to be an American, but being a person of color makes that very hard, especially nowadays. And really, the only thing keeping me in this country as of right now is the fact that airline tickets are horribly expensive, and statuses for living in the countries that I would consider moving to are way out of my means. So, sorry about that. I just had to get that off my chest. Month of Vocaloid will be double updated tomorrow, and I have a casting call video to put up for an Attack on Titan fan-dub project that someone propositioned to me, so you guys will be seeing a lot of me tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.